Hi, Shepherd's Pie. Greetings from the Philippines. Welcome back to the garden for a coffee and a chat. Going to have a little talk today about a subject I have visited before, but I'm going to visit it again from a different perspective. I'm going to take a different viewpoint. I'm going to play devil's advocate because I've been here a while now and my views and my perspectives has changed somewhat. I would like to think I have become older and wiser, but maybe I'm fooling myself. But no, I want to talk about the $1,000 a month living costs in the Philippines because it is an emotive subject. It seems to be the cut-off point where a lot of people get upset. If you say your living costs are more than that, if they're 1,500, 2,000, etc., you don't get many issues. But once you get to the $1,000 mark or even below that, my God, people get upset. They say it cannot be done. It is impossible. It's not living, it's surviving. Well, maybe they're right. Because I come to conclude for a number of reasons they are. So I'm going to explore those reasons today. I'm going to look at it from a different angle. Because for some people, for many people, it will be impossible. And for some very valid reasons. Not everyone. I have lived on $1,000 a month. And I did when I first got here. And I used to watch the $1,000 a month living cost videos. I watch lots of living cost videos. And I was a bit skeptical myself. I thought, well, the people in the videos tended not to be my kind of people. In the sense, not my kind of people in I didn't like them. My kind of people in the sense that we had very different lifestyles. You know, anyone who watches the channel knows I am a social animal. You know, I like to go out and do things. So these people generally gave me the impression they weren't, that they tended to be homebodies, that they were in relationships, they ate at home, they didn't go out so much. It always amazed me in their budgets how little was for entertainment. Their costs, majority were groceries, that kind of thing. And I thought, well, that's not me. So when I first came here, the first couple of months, I was amazed that my living costs came to under $1,000 a month. But when I went to Siquijor, they raised considerably to $1,500, $2,000 a month, $2,500 some months. A lot more expensive for me to live in Siquijor than it was for me or is for me to live in Dumaguete. But now my living costs are more than $1,000 a month. So, as I say, I'm not going to advocate the reasons why you can live on $1,000 or suggest that you should live on $1,000 a month. No, I'm going to explore the reasons why it is impossible to live on $1,000 a month. Because that's what you will get in the comments. Always used to amaze me, the anger. Still does now when I've made living cost videos. People will say, you're living poorly. That's not living. That's surviving. You know, you're a bum, etc. You know, well, as time has gone on, I have come to understand why they say this. And in many aspects, they're right. I don't disagree with them. And this is what I want to explore now in this video. There are a number of reasons why it is impossible to live on $1,000 a month in the Philippines. But I'm going to look at some of the biggies. I think there's 4 that I've come up with. There will be more. I think there's 4 main ones. And I'm making this video to talk to the people who think it's impossible, who are living here and have tried and have failed. but also to give a sense of perspective to people who are in a situation like myself, who are considering moving to the Philippines and are trying to calculate whether they can afford to or not. Because there's a big difference between, I don't like the use of the word budget. When I do living cost videos, I talk about my living costs. It's not a budget. To me, the word budget suggests that you live on $1,000 a month because that's all you've got. That's the budget you have to live on. Now, if that's what you've got, then you have to live on that. But I think the vast majority of people who do living cost videos, certainly in my sense, it's not a budget, it's just what our costs have come to. Anyway, let's look at the reasons why it is impossible to live on $1,000 a month. Well, firstly, there's a group of people over here who will have unlimited funds or generous funds, who will live on, I don't know, 10, 12, 11, 12, 13, $14,000 a month. And they're living in big houses with swimming pools, 6 or 7 bedrooms in Manila or Subic or whatever. You know, yeah, it is impossible for them to live on $1,000 a month. But they're not trying. And I would think if that was you, it would be strange that you would be putting comments in the video saying you can't do this, you can't do that, because obviously it doesn't take a genius to work out. Of course you can't, if that's the kind of lifestyle and expenditure you've got. But those kind of people aren't the kind of people I would imagine who are saying it's impossible. They know it's impossible for them. They're not going to argue it. They're not trying to live that life. You know, their rental costs or vehicle hire, etc., is more than $1,000 a month. It's the souls who are resentful of the $1,000 a month mark are the ones I think who would like to or have tried to. Or some of them will just be trolls. I mean, some of them will just be losers sitting in their mother's bedroom, just want to insult people and call people bums and, you know, whatever. I'm not talking to them. There's no point. They're just attention seekers. So the best thing to do for them is not to give them any attention. But anyway, right, let's look at it. Location. Location is a huge one. It will make a big difference where you live. If you're aiming to live on $1,000 a month, then you really got to consider your location. As I've already said, when I first came to Dumaguete, I lived in Sibuyan. First couple of months, I was denying myself nothing. But my living costs still came to under $1,000 because it was a cheap place to live. I like to go out, I like to socialise, but it's cheap to go out here. Always makes me laugh when people say, oh, if you drink too much, your living costs are going to be that. They're not in the Philippines. Alcohol is very cheap. That's not something that's going to put your costs up exponentially. You could be an alcoholic over here and live under $1,000 a month very easily. But location is a big difference. My living costs, Siquijor, were never $1,000 a month. They were about $1,500 on a good month in terms of a low-cost month, $2,500, even $3,000 some months, because Siquijor was a lot more expensive to live in. My lifestyle, because it was set up for tourists. So the bars, restaurants, etc., tourist prices. So if you're going to come here and you're going to want to live on $1,000 a month and you move to Manila, Cebu, Subic City, somewhere like that, you're going to find it more difficult. Not necessarily going to be impossible at this stage. Some people will say in the comments they live in these places and they live a great life for under $1,000. Well, power to them. Don't doubt it. You know, all depends what you want to do in life. But it's a factor. The second one, it's a huge one. It's your financial commitments when you get here. It's the relationship that you get into. It is the Filipino partner who is financially dependent on you. It is her number of dependents. How many kids does, I'll say, he or she have, just to be inclusive? It depends on whether you're supporting the extended family. Now, a lot of expats find themselves in that situation. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing depends entirely on their perspective. You know, not saying you should do it or you shouldn't do it, but it's going to make a huge bearing. You know, if you are in a relationship with a Filipina where you're not financially responsible for her, you're not contributing to her family, you're not supporting her children, then it doesn't take a rocket science to realise that your living costs are going to be a lot lower. But that's irrelevant if you are in that situation. Doesn't matter if Joe Bloggs is living over there on $1,000 a month and he's single or he's in a relationship or whatever. The point is, you're not. You are in a relationship where you have got a lot of commitments financially. Well, for you, it's going to be very difficult to live on $1,000 a month, particularly if you are in a more expensive location. And that's just the reality. But there will be some in the comments who will say they're doing that. I've had comments before. I don't doubt these people. I don't knock these people. If they're happy, they're happy. You know, rock on. But I got a couple of comments in the past saying, you know, I live in Manila or just outside Manila, and I've got a wife and we've got 4 kids and we live very happily on $1,000 a month. Well, that is fantastic. I'm not doubting that for a second. Some people live very frugally. Some people enjoy living a thrifty lifestyle. But that would not be for me. And it might not be for a lot of people. Might not be for the vast majority of people. Which brings it down to, if you are in that situation, I understand entirely why you feel it is impossible to live on $1,000 a month. Because it is, or it's getting damn close to it. The third factor, you want to recreate your Western lifestyle in the Philippines. That's how you are happy living. If you're one of our American brothers, and I say American brothers because it seems to be, and I'm generalising, Americans in the comments who will complain more than other nationalities, it would seem, how it's impossible that ground beef costs X amount and this amount and etc, and pizza, you know, basically American foods. Yeah, they are more expensive in the Philippines. If you want to recreate your Western lifestyle, you want to go to coffee shops 2 or 3 times a day and you want to socialise with other Americans. You want to eat steaks and you want to eat hamburgers, you know, several times a week, every day a week, etc. Then you're going to find it more expensive than you are in the States. Again, I say the States because reading the comments, I am under the impression, it would appear, might be wrong. If I'm wrong, I've made an honest mistake. But things like meat prices, your steaks, your ground beef, etc., seem to be cheaper in the States than they are in most European countries, certainly the UK. The roosters are in full force now. It's that time of day. So you find it more expensive. Me personally, I haven't found the meat prices more expensive here. I found them on a par. Now, doesn't bother me because I don't eat a lot of burgers. I'm not American. And on the flip side, although that's not the point of this video, although the meat prices might be more expensive than in America, the seafood prices here, the fish and the prawns and things like that are much, much cheaper. But you might not want to change your lifestyle. You are set in your ways. There is nothing wrong with that. You know what you like. You like your burgers. You enjoy living your Western lifestyle. Well, if you are one of those people, power to you. You're going to find it damn hard to live on $1,000 a month. That's the reality. But when you heap all these together, when your location choice is expensive, or more expensive than other parts of the Philippines, when you are in a situation where you are in a relationship, where you have financial responsibilities for your girlfriend, extended family perhaps, her children, her dependents, and you want to live an American or a Western lifestyle, you want to eat the same foods that you do at home, you want to basically replicate your life in the West in terms of Western style restaurants, food, etc. Put those three together, 100% it's going to be impossible to live on $1,000 a month. Of course you can't. You will find it probably difficult. Well, it depends how much. I mean, how long is a piece of string? It might cost you $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month to live in the Philippines. You might decide a scooter is not for you. You might want to have a car. You might want to have a brand new car. Again, this is going to whack your living costs up exponentially. Now that's the reality. So if you're looking at it from that viewpoint, it is impossible to live on $1,000 a month. Now, not all of us look at it that way. But that's not to say those who don't are right or those who do are wrong. I keep making this point about budget. Budget suggests it's all you've got. There are a lot of people over here. I was watching Brent Trippin's video last night. He did a great video on a great channel, Brent. You should watch it. His living costs have come down to $1,000, under $1,000 a month. And mine have been for a number of months in the Philippines. They have gone up now. I don't want to spoiler alert. I'll be doing a cost of living video this week. But mine are higher than that now. But it's through choice. But I could live quite comfortably under $1,000 a month if I had to. And I have done for a number of months. And it's not a hardship. But I don't have any financial responsibilities towards Filipinos. I'm living in a reasonably priced part of the Philippines. Might not be for you. You might prefer it in a more expensive area. That's fine. I don't have any financial commitments in terms of a car, etc. But it's all relative. The whole point, to me, of moving to another country and living here is for a better standard of living than you had where you were living elsewhere. Or you're looking for an adventure, you're trying to try somewhere new. Now, if your relationship with the person you're with is the most important thing that you've got here, if you don't want to live in a lower price part of the Philippines, if you don't want to adapt to a less Western lifestyle in terms of what you do and what you eat, then you've got to accept your living costs are going to be higher. And it's whatever floats your boat. If that's what you want, fine. And there's no reason why you shouldn't. At the end of the day, whatever makes you happy. But I understand entirely if you're one of those people that you understand or you believe that it's impossible to live on $1,000 a month. Because for your lifestyle, it is. And if you are thinking about moving over here from your home country and you want to live in one of the more glamorous parts Because it doesn't just have to be Manila or, you know, the cities. You know, there are places, for example, Sikihor. It's more expensive, tourist destination. I'm sure Bacolod, for example. I'm sure, not Bacolod, sorry, Bacolod, what am I talking about? I have heard that Bacolod's actually a lot cheaper. Bohol is what I was going to say. You're going to go to Bohol or somewhere like that, or you're going to, I'm not going to say any more places because I'm going to butcher the names. But you know what I'm saying. If you're going to move to one of the touristy places, like Siargao, for example, Palawan, it's going to be more expensive. But if that's what you got your heart set on, move there. But don't think you're going to be able to live for $1,000 a month. When you're doing your budgeting, budget for a lot more. Because even if you are a frugal person and you don't like to go out and you don't want to do this and that, and you lead a quiet life and you want to cook at home, you're still going to find it damn hard in those places I would suggest to live for $1,000 a month. So, you know, take the cost of living videos as a guide to what is possible if you live a certain way. Don't take it as the validation that you need to make a decision, because we all have different things we like to do in life. We all have different expectations. The Philippines is a place, from my point of view, that I can live very cheaply with making zero sacrifices and doing whatever I want to do, you know. But that's just me. I know a number of people I've met, subscribers and things, who are living in the same city, who are spending twice as much as I am. And in my opinion, from my personal point of view, not having a better lifestyle. But that's just from my point of view. From their perspective, they're living the dream. They're doing what they want to do, because we're all different. So anyway, I'm not going to labour the point. There are a number of other reasons why you might find it impossible to live on $1,000 a month. And they're all valid. They're all valid. You know, it is, you know, you live the life you want to live. But if you're in that boat, don't necessarily be so judgmental of the people who are doing it. Because it's possible. It's all about lifestyle choices. But if you don't like that lifestyle, it's irrelevant. And as I say, I say it now, you know, I am not making any sacrifices living over here. I'm doing everything I want to do, but I'm fortunate in the sense I don't have any financial responsibilities to my partner or her extended family. Never met them. And I don't like to do a lot of the things that some people like to do. I don't go drinking in coffee shops. I don't really go out during the day, you know, so I'm not, you know, I don't go to the beach. I'm not that kind of guy. This is another one, traveling. If you want to travel around the Philippines a lot, it's going to put your costs up, even if you're like, you know, backpacking. When I went to the weekend, we went to Cebu for Christmas, you know, that added, I don't know, £400, what's that, $500, you know, to a month's expenditure. It's going to cost you money to travel. Of course it is. So if you are planning on traveling, you need to factor that in. It's common sense. If you're going to travel a lot, you're going to find it damn hard to live under $1,000 a month. Anyway, send me a piece now. So I just wanted to look at it from a different angle, because a lot of the time I've been saying it's easy to do this, it's easy to do that. But for some people, it's not going to be. For some people, they're not going to want to. And why should they? Anyway, I'm going to finish up now. I am going to say a couple of things which don't relate to the subject. I'm going to try some different videos over the next few weeks. I'm trying to build the channel. I'm going to be a bit more experimental. I'm going to do a bit more vlogs. I've had a couple of suggestions. I might do some videos answering some of the comments. Might do a few voiceovers. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to try some things because I want to try and build the channel. Got a bit more time on my hands these days because I've released a few commitments that I've been doing during the week. So hopefully you'll like it. If you don't, stick with me. If it doesn't work, if it doesn't get the views, I will go back to the talking heads. Vlogs I've done so far haven't really picked up much traction, but maybe it's because my editing's crap. I don't know. I will work on that. But I've got a few ideas. Going to do a few more lives. I enjoyed the lives. I don't know why I stopped doing them, but I'm going to get back into that. But I'm going to, touch wood, concentrate more on the channel over the coming weeks. And then finally, this is just going out to any subscribers that I might have in the Doomageddon area. I am starting a new quiz tomorrow night at Sideways. It's a music quiz. Starts at 7:30. We're going to have 4 or 5 rounds. It is going to be fun. That is the primary motivation I have behind doing this new quiz. It's going to be a music quiz, but the emphasis will be on fun. It's going to be multiple choice, so it's going to be easier and more inclusive than the previous music quizzes I've done at other places. And we're going to try a few new things. There's going to be cash prizes, there's going to be vouchers and things, win some free meals and stuff like that. And it's going to be, I'm looking forward to it. But it needs support. It needs people to come. We're going to trial it, see how it goes for a couple of weeks. And if it works, it works. We'll make it a permanent thing. If it doesn't work, then we will knock it on the head and I will concentrate more on the YouTube channel. So, yeah, if you're in Doomageddon tomorrow night and you fancy giving it a go, your support will be greatly appreciated. It would be nice to meet you. And I think it's going to be a fun evening. So Sideways, sports bar on the Jose Marrero Road, 7:30 tomorrow night. Be there or be square. Now, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed, it would be great if you did. But whether you do, whether you don't, whatever you're doing, stay safe, be lucky.